Hello folks, another week has begun. It's Monday morning and the forecast is good. All week, clear skies, sunshine, not too cold, everything you need for doing a roof. So, I better get my slates on, eh? So, I've just got to put a few things down. In fact, no, I'll take them out with me. I'll go show you where I'm up to. I got a bit done over the weekend. I probably didn't get as much done as I should have in order to finish on schedule. So I've got a bit of catching up to do, but I think I can do that. So I'll take you up, show you where I'm at. Here we are. So I'm up to the windows now here. Yesterday morning I went and picked up some even more slate. It's actually Spanish slate, which is a bit thinner. I didn't realise it was going to be Spanish slate when I got the call to say there was some available. But that's okay because I've used it underneath the excuse me, the flashings here. Because they're that little bit thinner, they work quite nicely under there. And hopefully they won't look too out of place. I think once they look dark at the moment compared to everything else, but I think that's because everything else is really dusty. Once it's rained a bit, then I think it'll all blend in. So it's getting quite awkward now height wise, so I put the two irons in for the first platform. So what I want to do is get the next row on through there, and then I can put a board on. I can't get those on with the board in place, so I just have to stretch a little bit for this next row, and then I'll put on the next 3 rows because that's all the 13s I've got. I think I've got enough 13-inch for 5 rows, and there's already 2 on there. So I'll get another 3 on, and then I'll have to work my way along there with 13s, which means putting more platforms up. So it's going to be slower progress simply because you've got to keep getting up and down on the platforms. Plus you've got to put the platforms up. But that's okay, as long as we're moving forward. But it's looking pretty nice. I think it's better doing it all, do a complete row right the way through, as opposed to the sections I did on the front. But that was, needs must and all that. So anyway, we'll see how we go. Get a daily update, I think, on this one this week, and hopefully by the end of the week, it'd be nice if we were up to the top of the windows, wouldn't it? Let's see. Beautiful day. Pretty good. Not exactly level, but you put a couple of packers under the feet. Right, now that's on, I did this on the other side. I made up these, they're just bits of 4 by whatever, with a couple of bolts in them, timber lock screws, and I just screw them up under there, either side of the actual iron, and that just locks the board onto the iron. Got to get them at just the right angle, otherwise if they're too shallow you can't get your screwdriver on them, that's your drill. If they're not shallow enough, they don't go in. And breathe. There's one. That should do it. If you think I'm being attacked by some kind of bird of prey, by that noise, it's actually my phone. There we go. That's lovely and tight now on that end. Just do the one at the other end and we'll be good to go. I think I'll have to, this is where it all starts getting tricky, because now I've got to get a ladder from here to there, and the ladder I've got for that is what I use to get up on the scaffold. So there's going to be lots of carrying ladders backwards and forwards. I will be glad to get to this bit. There we go, that's great. That's going nowhere. So now I can just get my ladder, start loading that out. Next stage done, if you'll pardon the pun. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13. So this row is meant to have 3 nails in each slate, but because I've got these irons in here, you can't get the slates in, so you need to slide the slates in there, which means you've got to move these ones out of the way, which you can't do if you've got 3 nails in. So just for the ones that are around the ones that have got to be inserted when the irons come out, I'm only going to fix them with 1 nail. Well, there's no way that's a 13-inch slate. How's that snuck in there? That's it. Now the next one, see, that will slide out of the way now. But now the next one I can go back to fix these ones with 3 nails, because they shouldn't need to move. Well, you regular viewers, who we appreciate greatly, I have to say, and look forward to all your comments. We'll remember that a couple of videos back, I think it's 2 or 3 videos back, I sang a song. And I mentioned in that there was a story, another story to that song, which I would tell you at some point. So no time like the present. Might be a bit of up and down while I get slates, but hopefully we'll keep some continuity. But that song that I sang the other day was called Set the Course. And back in 2003, it must have been. As I mentioned in the previous story, I used to go and play at open mic nights just to, try and, or folk clubs just to try and get gigs. And there was one particular open mic night which I really liked, and it was in Ipswich in Suffolk. And it was at a pub which at the time was called, I think it was called the Milestone. It did change its name a couple of times. I think at the time it was the Milestone. Could be wrong. But they had an open mic, but you had to sing your own songs. You couldn't sing cover versions. It had to be songs you wrote yourself, which was ideal for me because that's what I wanted to do. I didn't really want to sing covers. Look at that, I forgot to put 3 nails in that one. So I used to go along there and play my own songs. And you could only, you only got to play a couple. But it was great, you got to, see what people thought of the songs and how they went down. On one particular night, I played a couple of songs, and this guy came up to me afterwards, and it turned out he was a DJ at BBC Suffolk, and he really liked my songs, and he invited me to play on his radio show. He had like a drive time show on BBC Suffolk, and asked me if I'd go in and play. And it's a programme, it was sort of titled, the spot that I was going to do was Local Artists Live in the Studio, which was a bit of a lie really, because the show went out on a Thursday evening, but it was recorded on a Monday afternoon. So anyway, I thought this was my big chance. This was, BBC. And I had my first album about to come out, all self-recorded and self-publicised and that. So any help you could get was great. And I thought, well, world domination is just around the corner. Getting to play on BBC Suffolk. So anyway, I went to the radio station, which was in Ipswich, and I met up with the DJ, and he took me into the studio, and he said, well, what we'll do is, if you like, we'll get the songs recorded first, and then we'll talk afterwards, and then it'll all get edited so that everything's in the right order. He said, so we'll go through to this other studio first and record the songs. So we went through to this studio. Yeah, it's very exciting. And he said to me, if at any point you're not happy, if you're not happy with how it's going, just say, and we can stop and start again. So there's no real pressure, which was great. So I began to sing the first song, which was the song that I sang on that video a couple of weeks ago, Set the Course. Don't like that slate. I'm going to have to go and get another one. I'll get another bunch of slates up. Don't go away. Ooh. So yes, I began playing this song, Set the Course, and I can't remember how far I got into it, but I got somewhere like into the beginning of the second verse or something, and I played a wrong note on the guitar. It's the sort of thing, if you were playing live, you'd have just kept going, and chances are nobody would really have noticed, but he'd said I could stop at any point, so I just said, that was a cock-up, can we start again? They were my very words. So he said, yeah, of course, no problem. So I started again. This time I got through the whole song, no bother. And then I played the second song, which I got through without any trouble. And that was great. 2 songs recorded. Said, right, we'll go through to the other studio now and we'll have a chat. Talk about who you are, where you're from. Talk about your new album coming out. And then he'll get it all edited. So that's what we did. And so it was due to go out a week or so later on a Thursday evening. And my spot was supposed to be at 5:30. I remember, maybe it was 5:30, 6:30, something like that. I can't remember now. For some reason though, you couldn't get BBC Suffolk in my house. I lived in Essex, so I just couldn't get reception. So I was sitting in the car on the driveway of my house, listening on the radio in the car. For some reason that worked, I don't know why. And I'm getting quite excited, you know, BBC for the first time, getting to hear myself on the radio. And the time comes around and there I am, chatting away in the studio. And the DJ says, so would you like to play a song for us, Adrian? And introduces the song. I mean, it's brilliantly done. You'd think it was live. And so the music starts. You know, my song starts, but it's not at the beginning. I'm thinking, what on earth is going on here? It was like the second verse or something like that. And I'm thinking, well, why has he cut the front? Why has he cut the front of the song off? You know, is the whole thing too long and he's had to delete a bit so that he could fit it into the time he'd got. And then about 10 seconds into my songwriting career on the BBC, you heard me say, oh, that was a cock-up, can we start again? I mean, what? I couldn't believe it. Somehow or another, he'd managed to edit out my cock-up and put it back in at the beginning of the song. I was gutted. And of course, fortunately, you know, he could have just set the thing running and gone for a cup of tea, but he hadn't. He was still in the studio, and so he obviously stopped the recording, got it to the right spot, and said, "Oh, don't worry, Adrian. Here you go. You can start again." So he quite brilliantly as a DJ, got himself out of trouble. But me, made me look a right fool. Oh, I thought so anyway. So I just wanted the ground to open up and swallow me. So anyway, that was that. I listened to the rest of the show, but it was kind of a bit, oh, I can't believe that. And so I went indoors. And I'd only been indoors a few minutes and the phone rang. I picked the phone up and it was the guy from the radio station. And he said, "Hi Adrian, did you hear the show?" I said, Yeah, I did hear the show. And he said, Did you notice the edit? I said, Yeah, I noticed the edit. And he said, "Well, you know, all I can say is I'm really sorry." And, you know, I was pretty wound up. I mean, I really wanted to go and, you know, grab him by the throat and gently squeeze, but, you know. So that's what was inside of me. But my reply to him saying sorry was, "That's okay, don't worry about it." And you know what? That really wasn't what I was thinking at the time. I was thinking something much more drastic. Anyway, feeling a bit dejected after that, I went out into my garage at the time and wrote a song about it. And the song's called Holding Back. And you know what? I got to play on his show again. I can't remember how much later. Maybe later that year, maybe the next year. And I played that song. I played the song I wrote about it and told the story of why. So that was quite fun. Anyway, that's the song Holding Back. And if you stick around to the end of the video, I might just play it for you. Anyway, better get on. You know, it's a real shame about this whole copyright thing, because I'm having a great time listening to Don McLean here, but I can't let you hear it. Oh, it's great. Carry on.
Fire is the devil's only friend.
Right, now, this board that's laying on the roof of the tin shed here, it's been here pretty much since we got here. Put it up here to get it out of the way, and it's worked great as a walking board, but now it's going to become the platform up there. It's 6 meters long, so it means I can get one big long platform, which is great. So I'm just bringing up a couple more boards to replace this one, so I've got something to walk on. It's going to be fun lifting that up. Good grief. It's not often you end up with 6 metre timbers. Ooh, slip. On it on the back of that, on it on the back of that iron. If it drags on the front, it just twists them out. So nearly there. Oh, I'm going there. Good. So now that's on, I should be able to get, just from standing on that, I should be able to reach the courses a couple above the windows. So that'll be a big section done. Okay, my next trick is going to be getting these slates, this next row on to the chalk line, which you can't see because it's underneath the board now. I just can't reach them down the bottom anymore, so we just have to be inventive, won't we? Good, that's that row in. Well folks, it's a cold morning this morning. It's going to be bright, it's going to be another lovely day. It's been really good all week. It's Wednesday now. It's -5, so I'm not getting up on the roof anytime soon. But I'll show you where I'm up to. So I've had a couple of days since the last bit of footage. And I got on pretty well. I don't know how well you can see that on the camera with the frost and making the slates a bit white, but hopefully you can see that I'm right up just past the bottom of the velexes now. All the bottom flashings are sorted out. I've got 3 platforms up now. I've got one more to put up at this end. I'm picking up an extra roofing iron. I've got 9 roofing irons myself. There's 2 there, 3 there, 2 there. So I've only got 2 left. I really need 3 for this bit. It's too wide to span with just 2 roofing irons. But I'm well chuffed. I've only got half a day today. I'm out to Oban this afternoon. I'm hoping to get the metal ridges for the top, which means I must be getting somewhere if I'm thinking about putting ridges on. I'll have this morning once the frost is gone, which won't be long. It's starting to thaw already, I think, now that the sun's actually on it. What a cracking day. It's been such good weather this week. So it's also quite early at the moment. So Lizzie's just left for work. So I'm just going to take the chance to get a bit of editing done. And I thought I'd show you a little bit of Buck's progress. He's starting to work really well now. He's only been out on a few gathers, and I take him out on the meadow most mornings when I feed the sheep.
Oi. 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 Lie down.
And then yesterday we had the rest of our sheep are up at a place called Ock and Drain, which is a beautiful spot. It's about 6 miles away, I suppose. And they've been in a field up there of about 4 acres. And I've now got, because it's actually it's a sort of a working museum of a historic township. And they're closed now until the 1st of July, so I'm able to let the sheep out onto the whole site, which is about 22 acres. So we had to move the sheep from that field that they were in into the other section of the property. And I took Buck to do that. Just took Buck on his own. So I thought I'd show you that now. You see here we've just managed to collect the sheep from the far end of the field. Just trying to make sure Buck doesn't get too excited and get too close to the sheep. They're all these sheep are pregnant, so we don't want to push them too hard at this point. Just keep it all very nice and gentle. Now over the back there where that tree line is, there's a fence. And we want to keep the sheep up against that fence as much as we can, because the gate that we're trying to take them out of is at the far left hand end of that fence. So that's where we're heading now. As we get closer to the gate, the sheep will have a tendency to try and run back down the hill towards the camera. So I'll probably, you'll see me in a moment, send Buck off to his left down the hill just to turn them away from that direction. They're just starting to turn down now. There he goes, just goes a touch too far, so I've got to pull him back, which he does really well. Gets right back, cut off there, retreat to the right. Now you can see the gate off to the left, that's where we're heading. Just brought him on a little further, keep him high. And you see they're going to turn right and head back, so he's off straight away to cover that move. It's gone a little bit too far back, to be honest, but He's got them now. Just keep him moving along that fence. Now I've sent him away again down to cut him off. Now we're going to swap positions. He'll go up the top and I'll go down. He does well here to face these two sheep off. All we need is one sheep to go through the gate and the rest will just follow. But I don't want to push them too hard. And there we go. They're through, so just call Buck to me. Because his instinct will be to run down the fence line because he thinks they're getting away. So that's good. They're now in the field where, well, they're now out of the field, which means they're on the rest of the site really. But I just want to get them down. There's a little bridge that you'll see in a moment. And it's in the bottom left corner of the screen. Just want to get them across that onto the fresh grass. They're already enjoying the fresh shoots of grass on those paths that are a bit more trodden down. A few of them decide to go around that stone structure. So I head towards them, and in a moment you'll see Buck will head off to his right, just to stop them going back that way and hopefully encourage them across the bridge. That's it, they're coming back now. I'm telling Buck to stand. There's the away command and off he goes. There we go.
Lie down, Buck. Lie down. And look. Up. Buck. That'll do, Buck. That'll do.
Yeah, success.
There's always one.
That's right, there's always one. We don't want that sheep going off that way on its own. We get it back with the rest of them.
That'll do with me. Buck. Me. With me, Buck. Buck, with me. With me. Lie down.
That's it. Mission accomplished, really. And all nice and gentle. That's a good run out for Buck. He's so new to it, and he's taken to it really well. Well pleased.
Buck, no. Away. No. Buck. Away. Away. Lie down. Lie down. Away. Lie down.
Guess there's a dark side to everyone. I must say I don't know mine all that well. I like the light, not the shadows. I'd rather have heaven than hell. I'd rather speak kindly than angrily. I'd rather leave some things unseen. But I think you can count yourself lucky. But I can't always say what I mean. Holding back a failing or a virtue. Holding back so I don't shatter the dream. Holding back 'cause I don't wanna hurt you. But I can't always say what I mean. I don't wanna be a walkover, and I don't wanna walk over you. I guess it's the same the world over. The people just don't do what they do. But we all want some answers to our questions. We all want to be free to dream. Oh, and I hope I can always stay couthy. But I won't always say what I mean. Holding back a failing or a virtue. Holding back so I don't shatter the dream. Holding back 'cause I don't wanna hurt you. But I can't always say what I mean. Holding back a failing or a virtue. Holding back so I don't shatter the dream. Holding back 'cause I don't wanna hurt you. But I won't always say what I mean. Guess there's a dark side to everyone. Must say I don't know